This here is Highway 61 Filling Station Show.
Hey, well, I just got back from the Lutheran church because I went over there to Ash Wednesday thing, and Mrs. Aaron said that this is not a plus. She says it's a cross. She says that the narrative of Jesus informs her life. Well, I don't know what narrative exactly means, or inform, but she says it's kind of like a story, so maybe it's a story. So remember at Christmas, well, not Santa Claus, not the presents and the stockings and all. It's the baby Jesus got born, and then the shepherds came, and then the angels came. They worshipped him and stuff, and sang songs, and then those other guys came a little later and gave him money and gifts and stuff. Well, see, there's this king in Herod, and he wanted to kill baby Jesus, and so his parents took him, across the line there over to Egypt, and I don't know if it's kind of like between here and Wisconsin, or maybe even Illinois, or someplace. Anyway, they went for a while, and so maybe he saw the pyramids, but I'm not sure he did, but maybe he did. Anyway, so. Oh yeah, that's right. So anyway, the narrative goes back to Ash Wednesday, which is, it was tonight, and so they put the ashes on their thumb, and they say, something like, you were from dust, and to dust you shall return, and so kind of sober, and makes you think that maybe I had to live a little better, because I may not live that long. Well, anyway, so we got to this narrative. So we got, Christmas to take care of, and then this other guy was trying to kill Jesus too, which of course he got later, Pilate. But before that happened, Jesus did a bunch of stuff. He turned the water into wine, and he healed some sick people, and he threw out some demons, and then he gave us a whole bunch of instructions on how we're supposed to live. So we ended up with people like, well, that's the Salvation Army, and Mother Teresa, and Billy Graham, and the Pope, kind of those people. Well, anyhow, so you get to Good Friday, but that was when Jesus died on the cross for our sins, and then that's not so good. So Pilate got what he wanted, but what happened was that on Sunday morning, Jesus got up, rose from the dead, and went to heaven, and he said, "There I am, and there you may be also," or something like that. So anyway, that's the story I remember. And there's some other stories about other people. I don't know if there's a guy named Hindu or not, but there's a Hindu story, and I think they have like lots of gods, and the problem with them is you start to do something right, and after a while, then, well, actually not. You have to go back and become an ant or a rat or something, and well, it kind of gets a cycle going, and I'm not sure that's so good. So, and then let's see, we got the Buddha guy, kind of like the Buddha, because he's happy, and he's got a belly like me. Well, I'm not sure that's such a good thing. Mayo Clinic says it's not a good thing to have a big belly, so I don't know. Well, then we got those other people, the atheist guy, whoever that. Well, I don't know where he grew up or anything, but I think he doesn't even think there's a God, and then he just thinks there was this big bang, and then poof, all of a sudden we accidentally happened, and I don't want to be an accident. You have accidents out on the highway, and I don't want to be one of them. And then when you die, you're nothing, just nothing. And that's not so good. And then they got this Muslamic folks, with the Muhammad guy, and lately it's been really bad. But Mrs. Aaron said Muhammad was over in that town called Mecca, and then he got kicked out because he was telling everybody that God told him to do stuff, and they had to follow his instructions. Well, they didn't like that a lot, so they got kicked out and went to Medina. Then he got together this army or something like that, and went back over to Mecca, wherever that is, and he fought him, and anyway, he won and took back the city, and then somebody gave him some poisoned meat, and he died. Well, now some of those Muslimic folks, not most of them, but just a few of them, are really being some bad people, and they're doing stuff like cutting people's heads off just because they're Christians. And there's that lady Kayla, somebody who was a nurse and taking care of the sick people like Jesus said to do, and then they killed her. And then the guy from the Jordan guy, well, he got anyway, he not the basketball player, some other guy from Jordan got burned up in a cage. That's horrible, and I hate that. And I think they made a real mistake, and then the Japanese guys they killed and stuff. Well, we call it Minnesota nice here. Well, sometimes we're not quite nice after a while because we can get pretty irritated by somebody being evil and mean like they are, and they're doing it. And then those people from Japan, they got those samurai guys, and they might go assassinate somebody, and then other people might, the French or the Danish or somebody might get mad because they've been shooting up their towns and doing bad stuff. So I think they better watch out, but if they're listening, they better not come here with guns and knives and stuff. They could buy gas, but that's all, because they cannot shoot up the place. That wouldn't be good. That would be wrong and evil. So you know how I feel about that. Well, I think I'm sticking with Jesus. Anyway, we still got the coffee, and unless you're Mormon, then you're fresh out because you can't drink coffee, I heard. Peace. See you later, alligator.
Highway 61 filling station show. It's not just Minnesota nice anymore.